Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Campbell, and welcome back to the Wellness Hustle podcast. Today, unlike what we've done in the past, we've interviewed attorneys, doctors, business professionals. But today, we're taking a slightly different direction because there's a gentleman here who has a story to be told. He's quite influential in the community. He's into acting and actually sports, a former football player. Today, we're going to be talking to Stevie Baggs. Stevie, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my brother.
Of course, my guy.
Good to see you, man, again.
When I tell you, when I just met Stevie for the first time, I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude is massive. Dude, tell us about that. Before we even get into the session, man, dude, you're like a specimen of a person, man.
Hey, bro, first of all, I'm only a reflection of you.
Oh, my goodness. See, now, folks, you see the love that I'm getting here?
No, it's real, man. I mean, I think, I was having a conversation with a guy the other day, and I was just telling him it's half genetics, but half spirituality.
Amen to that.
Because whatever you look like on the outside is what you look like on the inside.
Yes.
It's literally a manifestation. Now, sometimes the outside doesn't match the inside.
True.
Like I run into people, they may look good on the outside, but the inside doesn't reflect. But for you to transform or transmutate your body to look a certain way, you had to first see that in the invisible world.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Folks, that's why we connected. When I tell you, I haven't known Stevie for a very long time, but sometimes you don't need to know people in terms of years. Sometimes the energies and the frequency, when they begin to resonate and you're on that same frequency, you feel like you have known this person for years, even longer than people that you've known for like 10, 15 years.
Come on.
Why? Because you begin to resonate.
No,
his mindset.
Time does not reflect. Time doesn't matter in the quantum world.
Yeah, that's right.
Time doesn't matter in the spiritual world, right? Like, I have people who are my blood, but I'm not related to them.
Yeah.
I have people who are my blood, but we're not family because the root word to family is familiar.
Right.
We're not familiar in the way we think, the way we do things, and the way we process information. So, my vibe is my tribe. If you're vibing like me, you're probably tribing like me.
Absolutely.
And my frequency, because you mentioned frequency.
Yeah.
Your frequency is what you frequently see.
Yeah.
So if you're frequently coming across a certain energy, then that's a reflection of who you really are.
Exactly.
And that's why I was saying to you about the physique. It's a reflection.
Yeah.
What you see in me has to be in you. People only do things, Neville. They only do two things. They either reflect or deflect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it's a reflection, then we do what we're doing now. And if it's a deflection, then you separate.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Stevie, talk to us a little bit about your football career.
Yeah.
So, I know you've played professionally for several teams. Tell me about that time period. What led you into sports? How did that happen?
Yeah, growing up in South Florida, I'm from Pompano Beach. Football is a religion down there. And so I started playing football at the age of 7 years old. I was an all-state player, got a full ride scholarship to a small school, a small HBCU in Daytona Beach called Bethune-Cookman. Mm-hmm. I graduated with a degree in international business, and I was a 3-time All-American. I was Black College Player of the Year. So I thought I was getting drafted high. I ended up being a free agent. Mm-hmm. And that free agent journey took me on a path where I played on 11 teams in 10 years. So I played on 5 NFL teams, 5 CFL teams, and 1 arena team. And what that journey taught me was that resiliency and stick-to-itiveness and drive can put you in places that you never thought you would imagine being. And so I met some of the most amazing people on the planet by playing in NFL Europe, playing in Canadian Football League, and of course playing in NFL. And the one thing I know about playing pro football, funny stat, there's only 30,000 men to ever wear an NFL jersey. 30,000. So what that taught me was that if I can take the same drive and discipline and focus that I did to become a 1%er in that realm, I can do it in anything I put my hands on. And that's what I've been proving in my life.
Stevie, you just mentioned, we're going to talk about that a little because you have my mind racing right now. We're going to be talking about that. But you mentioned that you met some of the most influential people along your journey, along your path. Give me an example like who comes to mind first? As you look back at that time period, you say, man, you know what? That person really did. They did something, and to this day, you can still recall.
I have mentors in every area of my life, spiritually, economically, health mentors, which I got to introduce you to one of my health mentors. I think you're going to love him. I think you might already know him through Sparkle over there. Right. But yeah, when I was in Canada, because I grew up strict Christian, Pentecostal, you couldn't tell me nothing about my Jesus.
Right. Okay.
And I'm talking about Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus,
Yes.
Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth,
All
First and
right.
Second, First and King, First and Chron. Like, I grew up like
Yes,
that, right?
I hear you, I
No,
hear you.
no,
No, I hear
secular
you.
music
Of
and all.
course. Same here.
But throughout my journey,
Yeah. What did you discover?
I discovered that I met someone who worshiped Mithra or Krishna or Buddha or Dalai Lama that carried the fruits of the spirit better than I seen Christian people
So hold
carry.
on, you're telling me that the fruits of the spirit is not only is not specific to Christianity?
Absolutely.
Blasphemous.
Hey, come
Anyway,
on. How dare I
blasphemous.
say that,
Go
right?
ahead, please, I'll let you continue.
And so, and that brings joy to my heart. I have God bumps. I call them God bumps.
God, I love it.
You know,
I love
because
it.
when you have these types of conversations with most people are so encapsulated in their own exposure.
Right.
Most people's truth is based on what they've been exposed to.
Yes.
So when you lift the veil and you start to be exposed to something different, then now your truth becomes different.
Yeah. So you're saying that, and I'm trying to understand what you're saying,
Right.
Stevie. So like, your fundamental truth is then pliable? Can it be modified?
Yes.
Is that what you're suggesting?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Because my truth and your truth can be different, but then the facts will never be changed. So if you're looking at a 6 and I'm looking at a 9,
Right. Let's talk.
that's your truth.
Yes.
Is that it's a 6. My truth is that it's a 9.
Right.
The fact is that it's a number.
Right.
And what that number is based on your perspective. And once I get up out of my perspective and come around, oh, Neville, I do see this.
Right.
This is a 6. And you're like, Stevie, I do see a 9. But if you stay locked into what somebody else gave you as the truth, you never can probably get to the facts. I'll give you a quick story that I got actually from this man.
Please.
Navendra Patel is the first man in Canada that I was mentioning.
Yeah.
Navendra is an Indian brother, Navendra Patel. So,
Yeah,
okay,
of
of course
yeah.
you know the name. Another brother named Caesar Sacco. This Caesar Sacco lives in Winnipeg, Manitoba. This man allowed me to stay in his house. I was on a practice squad in the CFL, making $500 a week, chasing my pro football dream. And this man was gracious enough to allow me to stay in his home. He had 2 daughters that were around my age. Come on, who's gonna do that?
Yeah. Yep.
He just seen a light in me and he allowed me to stand. And I still call him my dad to this day. To this day, him and Cena. So those types of people that I was able to.
And they weren't Pentecostals. They weren't Christians.
This man was,
Yeah.
Caesar was a Catholic. They grew up Catholic, but he didn't go to church.
Right.
Navendra, Mithra, Krishna, whoever he worshiped.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that he held over my head.
He had kindness. He had compassion.
Long suffering, integrity. All the things that people want are invisible, bro.
Yeah.
People want love.
Yeah.
People want peace. People want honor. Those things are invisible. But they think they have to get it or attain it through the visible. Because society only teaches us that taste, touch, see, smell, and hear are the most powerful senses when we know that the greatest senses in the world are invisible.
Yes.
Intuition, discernment,
So many other
clairvoyance.
senses. Yes.
Those are invisible senses, and those are the things that help you transcend what you do see in the 3D.
We're taught that there was a crazy talk.
It's crazy. That's crazy talk.
That's the current
How dare you go
teaching,
against?
crazy thoughts.
So, going back to perspective, Navendra told me about the 6 wise men and the elephant. Have you ever heard this story?
No, I've never heard it. Please.
This story is powerful, man. The prince got a new elephant. So anytime he did something or the king did something, obviously they had to come see the wise men to kind of run it through the wise men. That's what you do as a king. So the prince got a new elephant, And so he said, I want the wise men to see it. So the wise men were brought to the elephant. The first man touched the side of the elephant. He said, this is not an elephant, this is a wall. One touched the leg and said, this is not a leg, this is a tree stump. One touched the ear, said, this is not an ear, this is a leaf. One touched the trunk, said, this is not a trunk, this is an anaconda. One touched the tusk and said, this is not a tusk, this is a spear. One touched the tail and said, this is not a tail, this is a vine. They were all right, but they were all wrong.
Right.
Because they were only looking at it from their perspective. When you take a step back and you look at the elephant in the room, then you can see things for what they are as opposed to what society told you it was, or religion told you it was, or politics told you it was. Now you can see it for the truth. And then you can make an informed decision on whether or not you need to participate in that or not.
You know, one of the greatest sort of lessons that I have been teaching my daughters. I have 3 daughters, right? I think you met one at my event recently. She's my eldest. She's 24, and then I have a 15 and a 16-year-old. And if there's anything that I impart to them is what you just mentioned, perspectives. I've been working on that for the past 3 or 4 years. Once it hit me like a ton of bricks that no, people are not necessarily right or wrong. It's the lens in which they're viewing.
That's it.
And my lens and your lens are completely different.
That's it.
Your background, your upbringing, the things that you've been through, that is what has shaped sort of your lens. So
Yes, sir.
dare me tell you in the moment that what you're seeing through your lens is wrong. No, the better position is to fall back and try to understand your perspective.
Come on.
Take
the meat and leave the bones. Take the fruit and spit out the seeds. Because there's a reason why we came into each other's path.
There is. Absolutely.
And I look at everything as a lesson. See, school and a test. School, they give you the lesson, then you take the test.
Test, yes.
In life, you get the test, then you learn the lessons. And so when I encounter people, when I first lifted the veil and became conscious, my brother, I was not always as empathetic to where someone else was, because I thought that just because I know truth and because I see it, because I know Easter bunnies don't lay eggs, chickens lay eggs, I'm thinking that you're supposed to automatically know it. Now, even though it's very clear, guys and gals, Easter bunnies don't lay eggs, chickens lay eggs.
Right.
But it may not be clear to them. They may not even have the inventory to even be able to want to grasp that.
Yes.
Come on, you know? So it made me take a step back inside of my own consciousness, inside of my own spiritual walk, to then become a little bit more empathetic to where someone else is at. You know what I'm saying, bro?
As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to put this as best as I can possibly put it now, but I was listening to a short clip of a podcast session on Instagram recently, and it was speaking about the exact same thing that we're just discussing now, in that, you know, I want you to see from my perspective. Why? Because it's clear as day. Like, don't you see? And, and we're like, it's clear as day. Like, don't you see that it's easy? 1 + 1, clearly that's 2. Like, how come you don't see it? And we get upset.
Yeah.
We get upset with the people who don't realize, because we're like, this is the simplest thing. And we look at them and we're like, the stupidity of what they're doing kills us.
Bruh.
In the moment, though, the person who was, not the host, but the person who was delivering the message, he pivoted and said, could it be, though, as you rise in your consciousness and you begin to understand that maybe it's not their stupidity. Maybe it's because you are now so learned or so exposed or so enlightened that it's now your presumption to believe that everyone around you has the same level of enlightenment. Bro. And it says, it's not that they're dumb. Maybe it's just you are being way too presumptuous.
Come on.
Back up for a little bit. Take a step back. It probably is not about them. You fall back and find, now that you're here, maybe you need to figure out how you can reach them.
Come on, bro.
And once it hit me, I said, oh my goodness.
Man.
Let me fall back a little bit, because you know what? The lens, the perspective, like if we all begin to understand life in that, you know, in this context, man, things would be so much easier.
Man,
for all
I
of us.
100% agree with you, Doc. And here's the thing. If you get upset, if you reverse that word, it's really a setup. If somebody can get you upset, that's a setup because now they become your master.
Oh, they got your triggers.
They become your master.
Oh, yeah.
If you make me upset, then you have set me up to let me allow you to be my master.
Anytime you want, you know what buttons to press.
So
You know what the triggers are.
Self-mastery
Yeah.
is the why. If you ask someone, what's your why? They're gonna say my wife, my children, my career, my this, my legacy. Your why is to be a master of yourself. When you leave this earth,
Oh my goodness.
if
Talk
you
to
want to
me.
make your dash count, you have to master yourself.
Self-mastery.
In the middle of the word self is EL. In Hebrew, the word EL is God. So in order for you to get and find God, you gotta go to yourself.
You have to.
It's not outside of you. There's no outside devil and there's no outside God. I empowered you to be God of your reality. So if you're the Lord God of your reality, then that means that you should operate in a way where people, places, and things can't move you to be up here when it's good or down when it's bad.
You have to be grounded.
What we know is we stay in harmony. We stay in homeostasis.
Stay grounded.
No matter what we see in
Yeah.
the 3D, because we understand that the 3D is an illusion that's
Man.
built on confusion.
Right. Stevie, talk, man. Talk, my G. No, look, man, we're going to be tight because I can tell you, like, the same sort of frequency, the same sort of enlightenment. I've come to realize now that every day when I wake up, man, I tell my family, my wife, my kids, friends around me, I stop praying for stuff.
Come on, bro. Oh.
I don't pray for health and wealth and this and that. You know what I pray for every day, Stevie? I have one prayer every day.
What's that?
It's not a big prayer, it's a simple prayer. Lord, give me the strength and the power to show up and do my very best.
Wow.
Whatever the decision is, help me to lean into the uncomfortable. That's one prayer I have every day.
Hey, bro, no. That's synergy. The buffalo is the only animal who walks through the storm. Every other animal walks away from the storm. That's why when you see a picture of a buffalo, all the icicles is on his face or her face, because the buffalo's walking through it. And guess what? They're not in it for long, because trouble don't last always.
Ooh, joy. Come on now.
But when you run from the storm,
Yes. Oh, it's always
it's always on your back.
Yes.
Running from the storm is indicative of, dang, I gotta change my habits so I can switch my habitat.
Yes.
Dang, if I don't like my personal reality, I have to shift my personality. And the persons that I allow in my reality.
Yes.
All of that, leaning into the uncomfortable, having the strength to tell struggle, bring your ass here.
Yes.
Turmoil, I promise you I got something for you. Tragedy, I know how to turn that into a triumph. The less, I turned it into a lesson. The test, I turned into a testimony. The mess, I turned into a message. These are all poetic things to say, but you never heard a success story without somebody saying they've been in the valley. Because people love the mountaintop. They love to see the glory of what you've accomplished and built, but they don't know the story because you was built and forged in the valley.
Yes.
You can't be forged at the mountaintop.
No.
There's not going to be any forging there.
Yeah.
The only thing that you're going to have there is people that are now shooting fiery darts at you. Hate,
Trying to take you down.
judgment.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the armor of going through the valley moments, you're going to get hit and you're going to fall back down in the valley. But when you keep going through and you're taking the punches, or imagine you're pushing a boulder up the hill and it falls.
And you go
then
back.
You got to push it over there. But now every time I push it back up, I'm getting stronger though.
Yes.
So next thing you know, when I get the boulder up there, now if you shoot the fiery darts at me, I have something to hide behind. I don't see that. I got the boulder with me. And I also have the strength to sustain if you do hit me. But people just want it right now. We live in a world that's so enamored with artificial intelligence that they don't like actual intelligence.
Yeah.
It's a battle of the AI, artificial versus actual. We know, my brother, that if it's actual, it gotta be factual.
Yeah.
Every fact is built on an act. You don't believe me? The sun gotta rise and set regardless of your opinion or my opinion of it. You go to the beach. We both grew up on the water. That tide is going to come back and forth.
Flow, back and forth.
Without your discretion.
Yes.
So when you start to look at things like that are inarguable, we've been taught to look at life from a legal perspective instead of lawful.
Yeah.
We've been taught to look at things from a contract instead of a covenant.
Yes.
The Most High, the universal God, the grand architect, the grand whatever you want to call that entity, that entity moves on nothing but covenant, law, land, air, and water. It's a law. What is the body made up of? Land, air, and water. So they said Peter was walking on water. Well, we walk on water every day because the body's made up of 70 to 80% what? Water. But you don't look at it from what it is. You don't look at it from the allegory perspective. You look at it verbatim when it's okay. Then you look at the scripture literal, and then when it's comfortable, you look at it figurative. No, look at it for what it is. It's allegory, it's folklore, it's similes, it's giving you beautiful information before leaving earth, the Bible.
You can make sense of it. Yes.
Jonah was not in the belly of a whale. He was being swallowed up by his habits.
Right.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was not in a fiery furnace. They had to burn off bad energy in their life. Job had a wife that told him to leave God. Your lady telling you to leave your God. But you staying there. Yeah. You either a bad pick or a bad picker. Which one is it? Right. I'm just saying.
You know what, man? That one is gonna stay with me. You're either a bad picker or a bad picker,
or both.
Both, right?
Or both.
Love it.
Because here's the thing: you might attract anything being who you are.
Right.
But who you entertain is who you are. It's a form. It's a version of who you are. If you're entertaining something, that vibration is a reflection of you because you're entertaining it. But when you stop entertaining the madness, it no longer is
has an impact or power or influence over you.
I don't even see it because it's not a part of my frequency. I don't frequently see that energy anymore because I changed my frequency. Society teaches us to pay attention to currency. This is a capitalistic society. You can't do nothing without money. Well, what kind of bank account does God have? What kind of credit card, bro, does the Most High God have? I start asking people, what's your credit score with God?
Right.
Because here's the thing, bro. Money ain't power. Education is not power. Information is the power. Information, not outformation. Integrity, not outegrity. If a person is insecure, then you got to go within to get secured. You can't get secured without. We've been just taught to look at everything from an outward perspective, bro. External. And we know that the external world is fleeting.
Yeah.
The external world is, like I said before, an illusion. And because society, what they do, bro, they introduce us to something. And once they introduce you, then they seduce you with the idea of it.
Yeah.
And once they seduce you, then they reduce you. And once they reduce you, you can no longer produce. That's facts. Look at the state of the people right now. And I'm not talking about melanated people. I'm not talking about white. I'm talking about all people.
Yeah.
The state of the world right now is at a vibration that's so low and so degraded.
Dependencies.
Bruh, that is sad, man.
Yeah. We're no longer in his image or likeness.
So let me back up.
Away from that.
It's sad only because many are called, few are chosen. So I'm glad that I've been able to be a magnet and attract the vibrations of those of us who are ready to go to that, who are at that level, not going. We're at it.
Right.
See, I don't pray for nothing no more. I'm gonna tell you, I don't pray. I don't pray for anything.
Yeah.
I embody everything that I desire. So now I don't tell God or tell the universe that I want something, because when you say that you want it, that's telling the universe that you don't already possess it. I already possess the strength to overcome anything that comes my way.
Yeah.
Whether or not it looks good in the 3D or not, that doesn't matter. But I know what's inside. I know what aura I exude because abundance has to be what you embody, not what you ask for. And when you are abundant, being abundant is having everything that you need when you need it.
Yes.
Being abundant don't mean I got the biggest house and the biggest cars.
No. Yeah.
It's having everything that I need when I need it. That's abundance. My brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I just tell you guys, I'm just in awe. I'm just taking all in like a sponge. Stevie, dude, we're gonna have to chop. No, we're gonna have to chop it up this week. We're gonna have to sit down.
No, absolutely,
man.
we do.
There's so many areas of synergy in terms of the mindset, and I knew from the beginning.
Yeah, so did I.
Now it's
when
fully
you had on that
confirmed,
jacket, that what he meant, I said, yeah, that's my brother right there. Cause we dress just alike.
Man.
I wish that thing was in a
Man,
46.
man, if my arms were just like half that, was that twice the size that I.
Just give me the patch.
All right.
Just give me the patch. I know what to do with the patch.
The patch,
Bro.
Okay, all right. The patch. Oh, the patch was hard though.
Bro, next
was
level.
hard.
It was levels.
I think it was just like there's levels.
It's levels, bro.
The patch was solid.
Yeah,
folks, it's been a pleasure and an honor of mine today. This is to be continued. As you're watching this episode, I'm telling you, like every sentence is a gem. You need to get a notebook out for this one. Write it down, play it back, play it slow, because packed with meaningful and life-changing gems. Stevie, it's a pleasure to have you today. And this is to be continued, man. So many things that we talked about that we just scratched the surface today.
Yeah.
And I know that there are folks out there like you and I who are probably on the verge of making their sort of, of going through their enlightening right now, wondering, is this scary? What's going on with me? And I think there needs to be the community to let them know it's not scary. You're taking the step in the right direction.
That's right.
And I know the world might be against you right now. When you stand with yourself, the world will stand against you, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. You're not alone.
You're not alone.
You might be lonely, but you're never
not
alone.
You're never
and when
alone.
you break down the word alone, it's all one. All one. When you break down the word impossible, it's impossible. So the English language is so ambiguous that you have to be very careful because the power of the tongue does speak life or death.
Yes.
But whatever you're speaking is what you're thinking.
Yes.
Whatever you're thinking is what you're feeling, and whatever you're feeling is what you will be.
Yes. Yes.
So a lot of people don't recognize that whatever you want, whatever you desire, you have to first feel it first. You have to feel it. No matter what your bank account says, your spiritual account has to say whatever it is that you desire. Feel? So when you feel it, then you can think it. And when you think it, then you start saying it. And when you speak it, the power of the tongue speaks life or death. So I'm telling people, if I was to leave anything with anyone before we depart, first I got to tell everybody, please go check out my podcast called The Godcast. And The Godcast. Okay, it's called The Godcast with Stevie Baggs. And you definitely, I would be honored for you to come be a guest.
And the pleasure would be absolutely mine.
Yes, and I want to say this because this is a wellness podcast. Yes. Folks, if you do not pay attention to your wellness, you're going to be forced to pay attention to your illness. Pay attention to your wellness. And then, whatever storm is going on in your life, try to step back away from the storm. And do not be the storm, but become the silent sky that lets the storm do what it does. Yeah. That's exactly what the buffalo does. Yeah. It lets the storm do what it does, and I'm just gonna go about my business because this too shall pass.
Yeah, everything. This too shall pass.
My brother.
What a beautiful way to end this podcast session today, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stevie, it was a pleasure and an honor. Likewise. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.